Okay. There we go. There we go. All right. Welcome, welcome, everyone. There we go. Hi, everyone. Welcome to another live trading room here at the Trading Pit with Samurai Day Trading. Today we have a special guest. We have Lachlan there in the background, but we have a special guest, our Dutch superhero, Cody. That came to help us because Lachlan is having some technical issues today, but he is here with us in the background trying to sort things out. But for now, Cody is going to take care of the live stream today, and he's going to guide you through the markets. So prepare, everyone. There is a lot of drama happening right now, like politically, and the markets are going crazy. So me and Lachlan, we always chat about these things before the stream, and we were all chatting here earlier, and it sounds like there's a lot of things that are happening right now that could affect the market. So people, keep your eyes out on the market. And let's get started. I can see that everyone here is already prepared. Chat is alive and kicking. Love to see that, guys. Enjoy the session for today, and I'll see you again towards the end. I'll join in again to say hi, but for now, take it away, Cody.
Awesome. Hey guys, if I haven't met you before, my name is Cody. I am based in Bali. I am Australian born, but come from Dutch heritage. So that's where that comes from. Um, yeah, welcome, everybody, both from TTP and from Samurai as well. And if you're joining in and you've got a secret link, welcome to you as well. If you've managed to hack us. It's all right. All is welcome. Happy to help everyone we can. I'm just going to quickly share my screen. This one. Cool. We should see a nice PowerPoint on there. If you can't, let me know. Cool. All right, guys. So we do have to go through a little bit of compliance because we do have new people joining us today. That's okay. This is something we do every Thursday in preparation for our trading session. A little collaboration, which has actually been really successful and a whole lot of fun. So we're super proud of our compliance. Okay, trading futures and CFD does involve a lot of risk. Okay, the trading kit offers only demo accounts to all users within the challenges and signal provider agreement. So all content information on our website presentation is for informational purposes only and should not be interpreted as financial advice. All right. So trading futures and other project on margin carries a lot of risk. I'm just trying to find my chat. Where's my chat gone? There it is. Hello, everyone. So it creates a lot of risk, may not be suitable for all investors or all people trading. So margin is defined as trading securities with borrowed money from a clearinghouse, which in effect allows you to take a larger position than you otherwise would based on your own account balance. However, this gives you the opportunity to make a lot of profit, but also can magnify your losses. Hence, the term high level risk is described for futures trading. Just remember, guys, so the information in this presentation is general information only. Okay. Any advice given or implied is general advice only. Neither your personal objection or financial situation or needs have been taken into consideration. I do not know you or your background, what your needs or desires are, what your trading capabilities are. So please just take it as general advice. And please weigh all that up before acting on the advice. And I'll go through a bit more of that later on. Past performance of this product should and is not taken as an indication of future performance. So caution should be exercised when assessing past performance. And also a product like this and other financial products are subject to market forces and unpredictable events, which there is a lot happening around the world at the moment. So we do the best our can to navigate through that. All right, so this presentation is for educational purpose only, and the opinions are opinions only expressed by myself. So all trades presented should be considered hypothetical and should not be expected to replicate it in a live trading account. Okay, all material published and disseminated by the trading pit should be considered as general information only. Information provided by the trading pit is not intended to serve as investment advice or an offer or solicitation to buy or sell. Any securities, C, it's not a recommendation or endorsement or sponsorship of any security company or fund. So testimonials on the Trading Pit website may not reflect the experiences of other clients or customers and do not guarantee future performance of success. So using the Trading Pit's website at your own risk. The Trading Pit, along with its partners and Samurai, and representatives, agents, employees, and contractors do not accept any responsibility or liability for the use or misuse of such information. So trading leverage instruments carries a significant risk, which we've discussed. Okay, you may lose all or more of your initial investment. So please only risk the capital based on your financial or security and lifestyle that it should be used for trading. Only risk what you're willing to potentially lose. Okay. This document is not a solicitation or offer to buy or sell futures, options, or forex. Past performance does not necessarily predict future results. I think you're getting the drift with that one. Hypothetical simulated performance results have inherent limitations, unlike an actual performance record. Simulated results do not reflect real trading. Additionally, because these trades have not been executed, the results may have under or overcompensated for the impact of certain market factors. So there's no guarantee that any account will achieve profits or losses like those shown. So who am I, guys? In case you haven't met me or you're joining us for the first time, I'll get through that chat. So hello, everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome all around the world. I know we've got a lot of international guests. Always interesting to find out where people are from if you are new. So please don't let the suit fool you. In that photo, it's the only nice photo I have of myself, probably the only appropriate photo, as you may come to find out. So I used to be a physiotherapist in Australia. So I worked with elite athletes and sports teams, and I spent 5 years working with veterans, including former and current special forces operators. My big thing was utilizing exercise to treat physical and mental health issues. From that, it taught me a lot about you just wear shorts and t-shirts and thongs. I don't even wear shirts half the time, Michael. It taught me a lot about mindset working with those individuals, which was probably a big key factor you'll start to see throughout this presentation and throughout today. I've been trading for over 10 years. I sort of realized that I know a lot about the human body and not a lot about how money works. So that sort of led me down the wormhole of trading. It took me a while to find a strategy and a mentor, which is Lachlan, that actually works and then is actually a successful trader. A lot of mentors and courses out there, the people who run them make money off selling courses and not actually make money off trading. So that was a real eye-opener. I'd say I've been successful for the last 2 years, profitable, where I'm managing to live my own lifestyle, hence why I'm now living in Bali and not being a physiotherapist anymore. So I take a holistic approach. I've hit rock bottom, so I understand where people are from. And trading really helped my mindset and self-development journey. So live in Bali, I primarily trade the Euro session and FDAX. So I'm also a CrossFit athlete and coach. I'm still active in the mental health space. I'm always traveling. Some people joke, they said, where are you off to next? And I'll be like, well, actually next week I'm off to Spain. So yes, I'm very rarely I sit still. So I'm a trading coach also with Duro, and I do some mindset coaching as well. So I keep things simple. So I minimalize my mind, minimalize my life, and I maximize my potential. So that's sort of what I like to focus on in my trading style. I keep it very, very simple. I just stick to my same 1 or 2 setups, and I'm really happy to help other people do the same thing. I think we're in a golden generation where there is no excuse not to be able to make a second income or make money from anywhere in the world. So by discovering trading, I think anyone who has, and you're all in here, so you're already taking that first step. It's an incredible vehicle to lead you to the goals that you want. So if you're interested, my Instagram is there. If you want to follow me along on my journey, I don't post much trading stuff. I post more about my lifestyle. But if you've got any questions, that's the best way to contact me. Anyway. All right, so in the chart layout, we focus on 12 different things, but the big things that we focus on is candlestick analysis, delta trading, which may be exclusive only to Samurai. It's something you may not have heard of before. It's a really cool algorithm, which you're going to see today. We look a lot at ratios and candle dominance. So that's going to pop up a lot looking at ratios when the market gains efficiency or loses efficiency. So basically it gains a lot of strength going one way or it loses a lot of strength, meaning it looks like it's going to reverse. And we also look at ABC patterns and the step. So the step goes along with the ABC pattern. All right. As we always say, let the market do the heavy lifting. Let it come to you. So my screen will be set up as so. We'll have FDAX on the top right and the American markets on the left. FESX, we don't trade it individually, but we do use it as a guide, especially helping us out with Europe. It seems to want to dictate the market direction and if other markets are going to move quite often. So it's a good one just to use as a guide. All right, so this is US Open. We've got pretty good volume today, which I'll discuss soon. So we're looking at 12 to 15 trades across all markets. Some people will have different trading styles, different contracts. So I'll touch on that in a moment. Essentially, I'll try and identify everything I can see. If it's not part of your trading plan, you don't take that trade. You just take the ones that are part of your trading plan. But I'll try and identify everything I can, give you the pros and cons of each one. So I'm just adjusting the curtain in here. So an initial risk to reward 1-to-1. We try and increase our risk to reward as the trade goes on. So we try and get that stop into positive as quickly as we can. Some of us have multiple targets. So, all right. So in this community team in our live trading room, we focus on profit first. There are a lot of traders in here. Some are starting out, some haven't taken a trade before, and then some are on 10, 20, 30 contracts. Experienced pros, they simply come in here for the community and just to be an extra set of eyes. So welcome to everyone. In that instant, we focus on profit first. So my goal is to try and get everyone profitable safely and effectively and efficiently. Okay. After that, the second thing is we focus on education. So please ask any questions you have. I'll do my best to answer them. If I don't answer it, it's likely because I'm trying to get someone in and out of a trade. So don't think that I've ignored you. And usually the last 15 minutes is when we sort of have a little bit of a rest. Last 15 minutes of the hour. So that's a great time to answer questions, but do my best to answer them throughout. I've also got some other traders in the background who may be able to help. So a lot of our strategies run at over 90% strike rate. Okay. So for example, I have 2 key setups that run well over 95%. I'm never going to say 100%, but they run very, very close between 95 and 100. Let's call it 98. But they don't happen every day. So they might happen 2 or 3 times a week. All right. So these strike rates we do have, please just be patient. So we pride ourselves on that. Then again, there's other traders with other strategies. So I do try and identify them for those people as well. So you'll hear a lot of different language coming out. We're very transparent with what we do. We post videos each day on at Samurai Day Trading and at I Love Trading on, so that's on YouTube, and I Love Trading on Instagram. Okay, usually with our trades of the day or our lessons of the day, and we do highlight losses that we've had as well. But they don't come around too often, but often they provide a great lesson when they do. And we always highlight probably one of the better trades or safest trades that we picked up. Everyone was able to get in. So welcome, 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 welcome. All right. Now that that's done, let's get into the charts. Team, I'm just going to hide my mug, my face. How do I do that? There, just because I know sometimes it gets in the way of people. All right, so the daily volume is approaching 70,000. How do I see that? I look at the ES chart, look at the daily charts. It's at 65. I think by the time we open, it'll creep up to nearly 70,000. So what am I interested in with that? It tells me that there's pretty good volatility out there. So there's a lot of contracts, a lot of money being sold, bought and sold today, or exchanged today, I should say. So we should get a lot of opportunities. Now, just be mindful of risk. So as the volume does creep up, we can find that the risk on each trade starts to creep up as well. So we use this PVI, okay, predicted volatility index, okay. So that's quite good. So over 40s for NASDAQ, you're definitely looking for 20 tick targets or risk control points. So that should be nice. But if that creeps up towards 100, you're going to find the risk on each trade is going to be quite a lot. So you're going to have to drop contracts, or you might go down to the MNQ. So just keep that in mind, team. I think we should have a pretty good day. There's no news during our session, but there is a lot of geopolitical things happening. We won't delve too much into that. Okay, let's stick to this being a trading room and not a political room. I don't want to upset anyone, but if you do a little bit of reading and not just straight from the mainstream media, you'll see that there's a lot of interesting things happening around the world, particularly with the US, within the US and with the US overseas in the Middle East. So I'm not going to touch on that. I don't think anything will come out during our session, but you never know at the moment. But we have nothing scheduled. So we're just going to trade on pure price action. There is US news later tonight, red flag news. There's PPI, core PPI, and unemployment. So that will have an impact on the market if you are trading that session tonight. Sometimes what we see is if there's no news during our session, but there's red flag later on in the evening, we get a hot start during the European session, and then it sort of fizzles out quite quickly. So we'll just keep an eye on it. We won't make any anticipation or predictions, but just keep that in mind. Just keep an eye on the volume because it can drop quite quickly on days like this. All right, let's have a look at the charts. Let's have a look at the US. We can start to see these weekly formations now. It's starting to look like weekly reversals are setting up for us. So look, draw at my Fibonacci there. You can see it's failing at a 90% Fibonacci, depending on where you draw it from. Some people absolutely love the 90% Fibonacci. So if you haven't joined us before here in Samurai, we love Fibonacci. We're big fans. Okay, so you can see it has failed beautifully there. So I'm going to put that one on as well. Oops. And you better see that later on in the chart. May as well put it on the S2, hey? So you can see it's starting to form. It's been slowly grinding up. Sort of the rate of going to the high side has certainly slowed. This is looking more and more like it's ready to reverse. You can see on the daily chart early on the past few weeks, it's been pushing higher and higher. Now it's starting to sort of slope. Starting to look like it's wanting to come down. So it's about to trigger daily shorts. It already has triggered one on both American markets. Now, if it wants to continue on, that's a big sell-off opportunity. It could come all the way down back to the MDI or nearabouts. The other issue is because it's made a lower low. If this fails, then it's just going to continue that grind long. So we'll have to wait and see. We're not going to preempt anything just yet. This is looking a little messy with all those Fibonacci, but you can see on the 4-hour chart, it's most certainly looking short. It's just right at the bottom of this range here. So you can see this area here. It's dipped down there in a few times. I mentioned this earlier in the week. I said it's not going to surprise if we come up or down and then pull back into last week's range, which is through here. And that's sort of the price we're at now. So it may turn. It may be turning off the bottom of the range and going up again. But if it does hold below this area, it's going to fall a long way. Okay, so 60-minute chart sort of supports that as well. You can see when it last came down this area, it turned and went up. Okay, it's made that higher high. Now it's come down. It's turning to go up. So will it push, excuse me, will it push back up to the high side, or is this finally going to just break through? So just keep an eye on FDAX, NASDAQ, sorry. So ES, you're in a very similar position. Okay, you're looking very sideways through here. You're already in the middle of the MTI there, so you're looking more sideways to me. Hello, Daniel. But same with you. It looks like you're turning off the bottom of that range. Okay, so we could turn back up, come up back up inside this range. What have I got there? Or if it does fail and it continues down, it's got to break and hold below this level at 997. If you can do that, it's going to go a long way to the downside. So we'll wait and see. But it is at a very interesting point. There's lots of resistance it's sitting on right now. So it's turned beautifully off our S1. So that's a pivot. That's a Samurai day trading pivot. So you can see it's honored that perfectly. I also had a daily 133, a 60-minute 161, and there's a 4-hour 50. So in this area here, there's been a lot of resistance. You've also got the big round number of 6,000, which it has been attracted to for quite some time. So we'll look at FESX. Now, we don't trade FESX. I see a hand raised. If you've got a question, just put it in the chat and I'll get it to you. Sometimes people that raise their hands, it's also an accident. It's like a pocket dial. So you can see, let's bring over FDAX as well. I've been talking about this for the last few weeks now. So FESX has been going sideways for a while. And the reason is, I keep saying this, is when it gets far away from its MDI, this is for most markets, it's either going to do one or two things. It's going to pull back to the MDI to sort of create that equilibrium in the market, or it's going to go sideways, allowing the MDI to catch up. So on FESX, it went sideways here last time we're up here. It allowed the MDI to catch up. Then obviously there was a big news that came out. It's brought back up. It got up high, and now it's going sideways, allowing MDI to catch up. FDAX, you kept grinding. You didn't go sideways much. You just pulled back. We're grinding. And guess what? We're looking like we're about to pull back on the weekly chart. So it's triggering this short. If it gets below, what's that price point there? Looks like it's just about to hit it. 765. If you can break and hold below 765 on FDAX, it's got a long way to fall. So if we look at the daily chart, there's that lower low there, around 765. Now, there's a couple things that could happen here. It could come down, break, and just punish. There's a gap, clear gap just here in there that's got to close at some stage. So maybe it pushes up first. And we do have some resistance on the bottom to give it reason to push back up, and then it falls. Now, I really want it to convincingly close below, because often what happens, and you can see it over here, is the market wants to push down, pick up all the stops below the previous candle, and then come back up. So this candle could come down, pick up the stops under here, and then go back up to the high side. So we just got to be careful before jumping in a big long-range short. It's right on the cusp now. There is a lot of resistance here on the 4-hour chart. Okay, and there's also a gap down here. So it's got gaps, small gaps to the high side. So I'm not going to be surprised if it pushes up first, gets hit, comes down. It could just close this gap, which would also sweep that low, pick up any stops, and come back up. But in saying that, if it can break and hold, there is a big move coming to the downside. So FDAX is right at the bottom of a 4-hour range that is starting to form. On the 60-minute chart, you can see it's slowly grinding. The sellers are starting to take a bit of control there. So if I look at FESX, you can see it's very sideways because it's waiting for FDAX to sort of catch up or come in alignment. You can see through here the last few days, very sideways. Finally, it's got that breakdown. It's got a gap, so it might push up first and then go. But it too has a long way to fall. So you can just see how sideways it is. Clearly down here on FESX, it was comfortable there for a while. It hung around that area, came back into that area. Okay, we've got 76s sitting there as well. So FESX may want to come down to this area and sit, which will drag FDAX with it. All right. So just to finish off with FDAX, we've got some key resistance levels here. I'll move it over. So we're going with the 5-minute chart. The pre-market bottom is a potential option for a trade. So is the S1. Okay, but if we get below that S1, look out below. I think it could really melt. All right. But that's okay. We'll either try and find a supporting signal to take a short, or we'll wait for the market to burn out, and then we'll take a reversal long. All right. If we do push up, I think the gap is a really good opportunity for a short. It'll close that gap, which is also a static bar reversal. Well, it's a static bar continuation off the MDI, so be quite good. All right, team. Well, 5 minutes before we start, I'm just going to grab some water. I'll be back very shortly. All right, team. We'll be gearing up last 90 seconds before we start. Nazi, for you guys, I'm looking for you to push up to the open and the 76s there fail and you can look to go short. And then otherwise, if we come down to yesterday's low, there will be Fibonacci there as well. You can draw that like so. Okay, so they're the two safest options, particularly for the opening candle. FDAX, pre-bottom reversal is on if we close as is. Okay, please wait for it to go climactic and fail before picking it up. Best one is also available. I'd really want it to push through first, not just a touch and put your order on. Okay, if we do push up, pre-top is obviously there, and I really like the gap and yesterday's low because the yesterday's low is the gap 76, which I know some of you love. S&P, same for you. You're looking for a short off the open if we can get up there. Otherwise, sorry, yeah, the open and then yesterday's low, if we push down, or the S1 is really, really nice. So about to kick off, see what happens. Contract rollover. I think that's next week, contract rollover. So pre-market bottom, let it just push through, let it go climactic first before we put an order on. Damn, that's gone. It's very early. We usually like a climactic and we usually wait the first minute, but that was a nice long if anyone did get it. Well done. I think it'll push back down again. If you're going to re-enter, you'd want a lower low, so it needs to hit 57, or you can put your order on. Still not climactic. FSX pushing in its open, pushing into 141. Actually, 141 on one extension on. So now you're through a minute on FDAX. Your order could have gone on. Usually we still wait for climactic volume. It'll go climactic in about 10 seconds. Okay, there you go. Climactic. So climactic, the candle changes color. I'm going to take this off. All right, we're coming back up the other way. I wouldn't go short under the open or under the 50 just because you're pushing back in pivots. There's a 76 there if you like it. I would prefer higher up. So your 76 is sitting there at 809. I think the safer trade is going to be off the pre-box. If we've got a 50 sitting there. Okay. Oh, that's hit that 76 and bounced, doesn't it? Yeah, it's hit it perfectly and bounced. Micro 76. So power of our fib. Free bottom safe, but yesterday's low is really, really nice as well. Oops, yes, I've taken you off. Sorry. What extension are you going to be playing with today? This is a nice one here. There's another one here. I'm just checking out extensions. I think one's quite nice. All right, let's move that one off. One before seems to be the one. That one. All right, last 90 seconds. We're not going to take any new trades.
Codes, are you there, mate?
Yep. So here's just having a big gulp of water. All right, team. Come into the close of this candle. NASDAQ, you got a few options depending on your trading plan. If you push up high on the 1618, you can look to go short underneath. Now, there's a climactic reversal setting up. So some of you might just like to push into any of these extensions, probably the 141, and then you'll enter under the next candle. Okay. Other option is short off the open. So if this pushes up, you can put an order on underneath the candle if that is your trade. ES, you're looking for a higher high than short under the 1618 if that is your trading plan. Otherwise, wait for the open because that is a pivot-based reversal. FDAX, a few options for you. If you like the higher high and short up the micro 76, you can do that. Otherwise, for pivot-based traders, wait for the pre-top. You've got a 50 sitting there, and you've obviously got, oops, the 50 needs to come down a little bit lower now. You got a 50 still sitting there, and you've got the pivot sitting there. All right, so NASDAQ, you pushed into the 141. So those traders that took it underneath the candle, your entry, you are in and out for 20s at least. Okay, that V2 Delta, I wouldn't take it as a new entry because your risk is over 50 ticks, but that V2 Delta gives you permission to hold for longer edge targets. ES, you got a match tie, not the higher high, so it's good enough for some. You're in and out of your trade. DAX, we didn't quite push in that 76 again, so I'm not sure if anyone else got that. Well done, Dan. So people have picked up that climactic reversal on NASDAQ. Great trading. FDAX, if you come all the way down and make a lower low off the pre-bottom, you can look to go long at 66 if that is part of your trading plan. Some of you just like 76 reversals, so it's 70 may do that too, but I'd probably wait for the pivot personally. So NASDAQ looks like it's still coming short. So clearly our Fibonacci has worked well. So to explain that trade, everyone, well, not everyone, a lot of people know I like the high high, but I also said for climactic reversal traders, we want to push up into the Fibonacci extension. So push through the 141. That's where the candle opened at 855. So your order would have gone just under there and you've pushed down potentially 20s and 40s. B2, that's a huge rejection. You're pushing back into Fibonacci where it's previously failed. So I personally wouldn't take these V2 deltas long. However, after a long buying campaign and a huge rejection like that, I know there's V2 delta traders that'll be licking their lips looking at two V2 deltas long to the high side. So if that is your trade, please keep in mind it previously failed at these extensions. Okay, so it's pushing through a previously failed area. But I'm 2 seconds. All right. So FDAX, there was a delta there. Long at 800. I think we picked it up in the last 90. My only concern was it pushing back through those 76s, but that's okay. Well done if you did get that one. Fifth step. 1, 2, 3. Yep. Yep. There's a lot of steps, a lot of small steps. It's only a second on the 60-minute chart. So, all right, we're in the last side, in the last 90 or inside the last minute. So we're not taking any new trades. What we'll do is we're going to wait. A daily 50. We're drawing it like this. Beautiful. Thank you. One on. All right, Daxi, we've closed over that 76, so we're not going short off the 76. Is my mic low? Not too sure. Can people hear me okay? We're looking for push through the pre-top and then a short at 23 if that is your trade. Otherwise, if it gets up to yesterday's low, you can look for that reversal too. Okay, that's good to know that it's not me, because I'm not the best at fixing those things. American markets, you have static bar reversals setting up. So which means your entry is underneath the previous candle. That is your trade. Okay, obviously that has a little bit more risk, but it has a higher strike rate. And if it does pick you up, it's more likely to go. The other setups you've got, if you push up, make the higher high, you can take that 141 reversal. Same with ES. If you push up, you can take and make a higher high. You can take the 1618 reversal. So they're your options. So there's a matched high. Sometimes that's good enough for some people. I like higher highs, so then your short would come on at 1950. Daxi didn't quite push into the pre-top, fortunately. That needs to go there. So it's off the 50. I'm going to take this one off because that's confusing me. Soda. So it's pushed into the 50 and failed. Awesomely. Well done. V2 short here on Daxi. My concern, you're up 6 points to the 50. What's your risk? Your risk is probably a touch too much. Yep, I got the same one. But zoom in. It's a good pickup. ES, you're through target now. You got a matched high. So you're in and out. Right. The last 90 seconds to no new trades. So FDAX, we're still looking for a push for the pre-top and short underneath. What it's potentially done is it's come up to this 50. This has that red line there. It's a 50 drawn from here. It's also reset this static bar reversal over here. ES, oh, last minute, jumpy. So ES, you've got the same two trade setups. SBR underneath here, or the high and short. NASDAQ, same with you, high and short, or the SBR reversal. Yep, the 90s there. Just don't want to have too many bibs on. Great question, Dan. So static SBR means static bar reversal. So static meaning once the candle is formed and stationary, it's static. So it's a reversal candle. So we go underneath that candle as opposed to sort of taking it off that candle while it's still moving. Now, a reset means it's come back up into that vicinity of where we would enter that static bar reversal previously. So I hope that makes sense. So we don't like to just come, we don't like it to just come to the entry point. We like to go through, so a little bit higher, fail, and then come back down and pick us up. So it's picking up the previous short this wasn't in our session, but the previous short that would have been available underneath this. I hope that answers your question, Dan. So essentially, this set up a nice short. It's gone down. The market's now come back up. It's failed at a known area. Okay, so it's now made this signal valid again. And some traders will have taken that short underneath there. This is super jumpy. This is only 70 contracts on the FDAX, and it's already whipped up and whipped down. Like this is, yep, that's correct, Dan. I only like resets if they're off a pivot, so like the pre-top's a pivot. Some traders like everything. But yeah, some traders love that setup. Basically, if it's failed once and gone again, might do the same. Yeah, NQ volume's not good at the moment. So the SBR has triggered. We haven't pushed up. Well done, Diane. So you've taken that static bar. 98 short. Well done. So those who don't use SBRs, you can see the power of these signals when they do set up and when they do trigger. So we had multiple, it identified potential ones here, but none of them actually triggered. Well, this one is triggered and gone beautifully. I hope that answers your question, Dan. I hope that was clear enough. Back down to a 62.40 SBR. Awesome. Yeah. I think it could come up and then get punished down. We'll see. Wait and see. So what I'm noticing on the American markets, they've all closed inside the opening candle. FDAX almost the same. So Dan, because it has triggered, yep. So some people might go, yeah, it's pushing back up. It's another opportunity to go short. What I prefer to see is it to really sell off. So really prove to me, yep, that signal was a great signal. So sort of like what happened here on the FDAX, that shorts it off. It really sold down. Okay, and now it's coming back up. And so, okay, so everyone agree that that was a sell-off signal. I haven't got that convincing sell-off yet on that signal. So let's say it comes down to the pre-bottom. let's just say it comes down to this area. If it comes down to this area and then starts turning back up, then I'm probably more interested. So I want it to be a convincing sell-off first, then let it come back up, reset, and go again. I hope that answers the question. So it's probably, yes, it's still valid there, but it's probably not the most convincing one I've seen. Yep, cool. Volume is very low on NQ, so I'd be a little bit careful here. But definitely those static bar reversals are still valid. It's just as that volume drops, the confidence goes down. FDAX, I probably want you to push a little bit. Right. Yep. I will probably want you to push up a little bit higher before taking either static bar reversal short again. I'm probably waiting personally for this pre-top touch. Your volume, while still okay, oh no, it's actually getting a wriggle on now, which is good. So there's a lower low. I know some traders like the long there off the 50. You're looking at a 92 or 93 long, especially now it tags the open. If it triggers this delta and goes below the open, I'd take the order off though. I think it could really come all the way back down to pre-bottom. I think it's stuck in limbo because it's still inside the opening candle. And now it's touched the open, so I'd be convinced to put the order on the 50 now. However, it's triggering that B2 short, so unless, yeah, the safer trade's going to be off the pre-bottom like we discussed. And nothing for you, yeah, sorry. It's slow to give you that. So Nazi's kind of going sideways. The volume's a little low, so it's not really moving with any vigor. The MDI is creeping up, which means the margin to take profit is getting smaller and smaller, which means our risk to reward is getting smaller and smaller. It's all inside this opening candle here. Well, let's check. Wait for that to load. I thought contract rollover was next week. No, we're definitely not switching yet. All right, Daxi. So what we're looking for is a lower low and long off the pre-bottom, if that is your trading plan. ES, higher high, short off the 1618. We've hit that 3 times now, so just be careful. Eventually that's not going to hold and it's going to go higher. NQ, I don't really like anything for you, unfortunately, on this candle. Big rejection there on Daxi. That's probably be off of 76 maybe. So FSX very, very sideways. Hasn't left its pre-top. Closed above the pre-top gap on. It's hovering about a point either side of the pre-top. FDAX, that candle again closed inside the opening candle. Now, if you like a lower low and long off the 76, that's there. So it's now touched it. So there's a long there at 74, 75, 75 probably. I personally would wait for the pre-bottom just because I like pivots. But hey, a long off the 76, depending on your trading plan. That's why I like to wait for the pivot. Let it come down. If you just like a double failure, your order will go on soon at 66. I like the lower low, so I want it to get below 758 before putting an order on. That's a match low. You've got FESX into its 50. No trades on NQ at the moment, just because of the volume. Your volume's very low. So they might be waiting for the US news later tonight. So it still hasn't made a lower. There's your lower low. So now your order can go on. Or you might look for an S1 reversal. If that is your trade. But I'd be a bit careful. All right. Actually, just be careful here. Yeah. Okay, just checking fibs. All right. All right. So what we're looking for, FDAX, you're looking for a close above the S1, lower, low, and long off the S1. NASDAQ, you finally got a bit of attitude. I can't send you short into the middle of the MDI. There's a potential long off the pre-bottom, but you're going back through the MDI. Otherwise, look for push back up. You can either take the SBR short or Daxi. That is a very strong close. Just be careful here. We got a 3 times efficient short, so the valid delta underneath. That's a 4-hour 161 there. All right. All right, team ES, you're off the charts. Pushing into a 76 there. Well done, Petros. Oof. Aggressive. Sell down here. Just trying to, there's another 76 there on Nazi. That's potentially what it's playing with. Just trying to adjust fibs as quick as I can. That's what I'm trying to just check in the background. I can't see anything. Nazi, there's a long there off those 76, so just be careful. Trying to clean up this chart somehow. What can I get rid of? I can get rid of this. Okay, get rid of this. That. Yeah. Yep. I think you're right, Jess. Nazi, that's your extension there. You've got the 1618. So lots of reasons for it to run out of steam here. Nazi. All right, wait and see how these candles close. Nasdaq, this is not going to be efficient. If no, it might be one times, but All right. So there we go. Big gap down. That's not efficient. FDAX. So I haven't got a valid short for you. I haven't really got a valid long. There is a V2 delta long if that is your trade. NQ, only if it is your setup, look for the lower low and then go long. Doesn't look like it's gotten the lower low. It's just gone without us. So there's all these V2 deltas short for FDAX, but your risk is just too much. So I can't send you short on that. I'm sorry. We've got FESX pushing into multiple pivots here. So I think if that gets some resistance, this may turn, but all sources are pointing short at the moment, unless it is getting caught at that 1618. ES, you're looking for the lower low as well, just to confirm that it is failing. Well done, everyone. Just catching up on some of the chat. So good job, guys. Seeing a lot of positive trades come through. I haven't been able to get in anything. It's very difficult. China to continue issuing more rare earth export licenses. That came out a few minutes ago. So I got a 90 there, 897 now. I don't use the 88.6 just because I've already got enough lines on my chart, but I dare say that's an 88.6 failure for those who like the 88.6. Yep. Oh, that's annoying. Yeah, FESX. We'll wait and see. Nazi, that lower low and long, depending on if you went off the 76 or not, it's gone close to target. Let's look at 11s. Okay. So again, that trade is on again, lower, low, and long off the 76. That is your trade. ES, you're looking for the lower, low, and long off the 76. I can't send you guys long on the SBRs just because you're straight back to that MDI. FDAX, that's a bit of an SBR in the middle of nowhere. If you like ratios, there is an entry there at 24. But usually I prefer it off pivots, something known. There is a 88.6 for those who like that setup. What price is that at? 708. NQ's got the match low. So someone may have picked that up. All right, these big twos going valid now. There's a lower low if you do like them. But there's your lower low now. So the permission to go long at 1950s there. Or the 1618, depending on your trading plan. But we could be coming short here. Seems like all the markets are a little confused on what they want to do. They're trying to trigger these big sell-offs, but you keep running into areas of resistance. The V2 Delta long here on DAXI. That is your trading plans, last 30 seconds. NQ, let's try and see where you could potentially be going. It's right on a 50 there. This looks like a pretty strong candle short. So, oof, that bolted. I think we just wait for a pivot on NASDAQ here and ES. So ES might bounce off yesterday's low. NASI, there is a potential long above this candle on the 50. It's going to be safer waiting for it to fail at yesterday's low there, which is also a 76. DAXI, there is a potential long here at that delta at 719. It's not off a pivot though. You've got a daily 90 there, which may interest some of you. This V2 delta on FDAX looks good. The issue is it keeps failing at the same area. So I'm a little hesitant. Your risk is over 20. So if you can hold it, it's there. So it's paid and now gone the other way. The risk is the issue with that trade for DAXI, but everything is looking short. So there's the tag of yesterday's low on NASDAQ. Because ES is below yesterday's low and didn't really bounce, I'm a little hesitant taking that trade. I'll probably wait for this candle to close and look for definitive longs, but there is that single touch reversal like we mentioned. I'd probably wait for this candle to close. Oh, it is the last 15 minutes. Thank you. Right. So if you did take the yesterday's low reversal, well done. Just trying to find if there's any more news. Donald Trump to enact key parts of the US-UK trade deal within days. So ES is finally coming back through yesterday's low, so it's pushed down and come back through. And that's what I was saying with yesterday's low. We'll just take that little touch and go, wait for it to push through and go long, or wait for this candle to close and then we can all go long. Yeah, so it could be triggering that big daily short, which we discussed in the pre-market analysis. It's got a lot of stops down here that it can come down to. All right, ES, I want you to close above yesterday's low, please. What we're going to look for, NASDAQ lower low, and then you're going to go long at 91.25. We are inside the last 10 minutes, so a lot of traders don't trade the last 10, 15 minutes. However, if you do, same with ES, lower low and long above yesterday's low. If you got any questions, guys, need me to go through anything, please send it through. Now is a good time to ask. Well done. Very jumpy. Yeah, yeah, I was just doing that. All right. Sorry, muted myself. Last 5 minutes. So we don't take any new trades now. So we had some people go long here and get 20s. Keep scrolling down. Wow. What are you at? You're daily 76s. That's why you're turning the S's off at test one. B2 Delta there on Nazi. First V2 Delta on Nasdaq is paid. We don't trade the last 5 minutes candle, so I'm not sure if anyone's really on that one. Setting up incredible potential reversals here. I'm just going to wait for the market to close. Well done. Well done, Dan. All right, just waiting. Candle to close. Awesome job. Well done. All right, so we have a reversal long on every market setting up. The issue is going to be the risk. So only if you can carry the risk. So Nazi, you're 2 ticks above that candle. Again, the risk is quite high. Yes, you're off a pivot, so you are by far the best one. FDAX, you're so close to your S2, you're not quite there yet. Oof. What was that? Wow. This is a very, very crazy market today. So close to the S2. PSX, that's a technical touch. Nazi, there's a lower low on the S1. That is your trade. Super jumpy. Yes, it's looking short. They're pushing through, they still might. So it's already reversed once there. They still might come back through, pick it up and go again. There's obviously some sort of unexpected news announcements that have come out. Which is impacting the market quite a lot. Wait for this counter to close. Woof. All right. Dax, if you push through the S2, you can look to take a trade long off it. Nazi, that's strong candle short. The issue is the risk. might turn. And just put your order on. There's V1 deltas, not V2. It makes it difficult with the unexpected announcements this time of year, yes. But look at the PVI. The PVI is well over 100, so that's too much. Let me just leave it. The FDAX is paid, pushed through the S2 and long, 28, 29. V2 delta long and ES. It's not really off anything though. That's my only concern. Maybe that's what you could be failing at. Is that it? Right. So what happened with the S1 is it came down. It failed on the candle previous 5 minutes, right? It gave us an SBR long. If you took there's a lot of risk on the SBR. If you picked up the SBR long, it went long for 20s. It came back down and went through the S1, and now it hasn't gone back through the S1, so it hasn't picked you up. So unless you took a single touch reversal, which you said we're just going to hold off on, I'm not too sure what's happened. Some sort of geopolitical news. We had a 4-hour new yellow flag new announcement that came out on top of the US UK trade deal that spiked the market down and spooked it. FDAX and FESX have turned off their S2 respectively absolutely perfectly. So I still think the S1s and 2s. Right, so you went for 40 ticks, so there was no risk control at 20s. Yep, dual market signal long. So it still did exactly algorithmically what it was meant to do. All right, Daxi, that's not a 4-point turning bar, but it is an efficient candle long. If you can get in. That's an SBR. It's right on the S1. NASDAQ, ES, you've got a the SBR as well. Looks like everywhere's going long. So well done, traders. SBR was back into a pivot on NASI, so some people may not have taken that. However, dual market signal, so it just depends on your trading plan if you just take ratios. I know that going back into the pivot would have kept some traders out. FDAX, the deltas have paid. That happened really quickly. Like I said, it's an efficient candle long. It's not a 4-point turning bar, but the deltas are there. Same trade on all four markets. NASDAQ was unfortunate because it closed underneath the pivot, so that would have kept some people out. Well done, Andy. Awesome job. The market kind of melted down. It didn't get too many opportunities at the start. So NASDAQ got a nice short up the top. So did ES. Okay. And then we had some unexpected news come out that really woke the market up and sent it spiraling. ES eventually failed at 4 hours 76. So did NASI now. We just didn't quite get the close over the pivot we liked. But if we look at FDAX, we had the short up here, the SBR. Absolutely beautiful signal short. Sent us down a long, long way. And now we're turning off that pivot, the S2. So our pivot files are working well. All right, last 2 minutes. Just got to quickly turn my data on and off. I've got a little glitch on my other screen. So I'll just disconnect and reconnect. All right, here it comes. All right. If S1, if SES, S&P, close above its S1, we could be looking for longs on both markets. Yep. Depending on your risk profile. To FDAX, push down, you can look to take the V2 delta long. Issue may be the risk will have to be under the previous candle. So it's pushed down, picked up that. NASDAQ, it's hard to send you long because ES is still below its S1. Well done. So it's coming back. We're pushing down, V2 delta. Yeah, I had a target there, got 1 point off my target. Looking a bit indecisive now. Hmm. Yeah, once that market started shooting down, I had to be really, really careful. Wait for probably a static signal. So US tariffs may have ended Bank of Japan's rate hike cycle. News. Not much happening on this candle for us. Can't send you long. A little bit going a bit sideways now. DAX, is there anything else here? This one's valid, but I'm going to check it. Trying to find out anything else. Right. So I want ES and NASDAQ to close over its S2, S1, sorry, then we can look for longs. FDAX can't send you short to that micro 50. The volume. We're going to pick those up and go now. Just waiting for this candle to close. This will be our last candle of the day, team. So if you've got any questions, send them through. If you need me to go through anything, let me know. I need ES to close above S1 and NASDAQ to close above the S1 before we can go long. FDAX, your volume's getting a little low, but if you push through the S2 and get a lower low, you can look to go long at 2.9. Yeah, it was meant to be a tricky day. All right. It's a short back in the 76, so I can't send you short on the US market. Can't send you long. So no trades on the US. FDAX, your volume's getting a little low. The only thing I like is a lower low on the S2 and a long, if that is your trading plan. Yeah, we had that. Remember the tariff when tariffs first started coming out, how volatile that was. That was almost too hard to trade. Well, for me anyway. I didn't enjoy that. Yeah, the markets are a little bit confused. I think they're sort of reacting. They've reacted and now they're settling after those unexpected news announcements. We've got US red flag news later tonight, or depending on where you are in the world, the US Open and pre-market.
How's it going, guys?
Yeah, it was a nice start, and then we got some unexpected news announcements, which always
Ooh,
make things interesting.
okay.
And ended up getting a nice one at the end. And now it's just going sideways. I think market's cooling off after a bit of a sell-off.
Ooh, that's a hell of a drop.
Yes, on all markets.
Well,
So
guys,
we
the
got the
markets
sell
are
up
always
here,
full of
up here, went
surprises.
well. Yeah.
Well, I mean, from my side, guys, thank you first of all so much to Cody that helped us today due to Lachlan's technical difficulties that we've had earlier today. So Cody, thank you so much for being our hero today with your help with the live trading session, guys. I hope everyone had their, risk management, everything all in order, and everything's fine, and that you did manage to get some successful trades there. From my side, I just wanted to say, oh, there we go. We have double Cody on the screen.
Jeez.
From my side, guys, I just wanted to say, hopefully, we have soon also a US market open trading room. We're working on that. We are working on that. Because we're trying to set it up in a very, very cool and fun way for everyone to be able to interact together. So stay tuned, stay tuned. We will do this as well with Samurai Day Trading. It's going to be quite interesting. And thank you again so much for today's live session.
That was a lot of fun. Always happy to jump in. It's good to be back.
Super, thank you so much. Guys, happy trading, and I will see you guys next week on Thursday. But whoever is doing the live trading room with the Samurai Day Trading, you have the same session tomorrow. Enjoy, and I will wish you a happy upcoming weekend.